Oh dear.
Ooh,
Okay, so it
daddy.
sees that Miss Salsa Banks.
Right.
Miss Salsa Banks has found her way back into the limelight. You know, we don't know too much about Trend right now, but Miss Salsa Banks has appears to be released from her WWE contract. And I know this is a huge blow for you because when you first started watching the WWE, Salsa was one of your favorites from the beginning.
I
So
mean,
how do you feel about this?
she's still my favorite and always will be my favorite. Clearly, Vince did not watch our episode where we told him, please do not let Sasha go. More than anything, that's the one you don't want to let go. But I mean, and Naomi too. Thank goodness we don't
That's
have
family.
any news about Naomi getting released yet. So I think I think no news is good news right now. But with Sasha, it's like I just feel bad because, like I said when we was watching when we was reviewing the Evil series, you can tell that she really genuinely loved this company. She always wanted to be a part of it. It was her dream. And to get somewhere and then realize, like,
This place is dry.
this sucks. I think everybody's had that moment where you really wanted to work somewhere. You get there and you be like, like, this is garbage. Like when I first started working at Forever 21, I thought it was going to be great coming out of high school and it was awful. So I feel bad for her having to go through that. But I think at this point in her career, she realizes that she's never going to be on the same level as a Ronda or as a Charlotte.
Yeah, it's a shame that you even say Ronda because Ronda's been there for a cup of coffee,
Right.
So, Miss Salsa Banks has been there killing it NXT, proving why she's one of the best women in the world, not just in WWE, but like in the world general. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the one thing that locker room is missing, especially now, is that star power. Because right about now, since they've been gone,
yeah,
it's
just dead.
It's just dead, bro.
Yeah.
It's dead.
It's
dead. I love Bianca. I'm a huge Bianca Belair fan, but she ain't carrying it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need her to bring that old EST back.
And even Becky, I feel like Becky's doing what she can. Like, I feel like every storyline she's in, she really is giving it 100%. But because it's not the Becky that I think everybody was expecting to return, it's like
Becky 2 belts. I'm currently rocking the shirt.
I mean, this whole big time Bex thing, it's like you gotta find a way to get on board with it, and it's like this weird adjustment period where it's like, okay, do we really accept that Damon is dead, or do we hold on for hope that she's gonna return?
She's gonna be the Mon. She's gonna be the Mon when she turns babyface. Hopefully, they turn Ronda. I do think the initial plan is to have Ronda Becky at WrestleMania, even though I felt like they should have did it this year, but that's here nor there. If they turn Ronda Rousey heel, have her run through everybody on SmackDown, and then you have Becky Lynch. She don't have to win the Royal Rumble. Please don't waste the Royal Rumble on her again. You can shoehorn your way how you want to, just like y'all shoehorn Charlotte and just threw her randomly in the WrestleMania 35 main event. Y'all can just throw Big Tom Bex in there, or the Mon. Hopefully the Mon comes back. You can have your Ronda, you can have your Becky match, and you can have Becky beating Ronda, and Ronda can go about her day and be a mom.
But it's like what we have right now is just a bunch of women who's just trying and not able to really break that ceiling. It's just like there's this feeling that we know y'all are like the B-list storyline, basically. Like, y'all are the B-list show.
And the thing that Sasha Banks has, whatever storyline she was in, she was a star. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, she made everything. You could have had her run for the 24/7 title.
Yeah.
And Sasha Banks would have made that a big thing.
And that's what I always said about Sasha. What I liked about her is that whatever Sasha was in, she always brought a sense of legitimacy to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some superstars who come in and it's just like, yeah, I'm just doing this because they tell me to. Sasha comes in and she makes things feel important. Even before the whole Charlotte and Ronda, when, Sasha came and was kind of challenging Charlotte and stuff like that, everybody was really, really excited for that, and that's why they wanted that match at WrestleMania. I don't know how I would have felt about that, but the point is that when she came out, there was like this feeling, this explosion, and I just feel like there's not many women who can do that now, and I feel like Sasha, even though she was very, very kind of part-time-ish, even though she wasn't always there full-time. It did make her entrances into the scene, into the show, a lot more, I guess, valuable, or did give like more pops. What, like, do I feel like she should have on the show a lot more? Absolutely. But I feel like it gave that sense of legitimacy. And so I think her leaving, people are, of course, writing her into, hey, she should go to AEW. People are like, she should go to New Japan. I don't know about all that, but it seems like the only way right now, off the top of my head, that I can think of people succeeding now in WWE is to leave and to come back. Like, it's such a weird dynamic that they have set up there, but it's just like the same thing with Drew, the same thing with Cody. Exactly. It's like the only way you can...
You know how I feel about Cody.
Yeah. The only way you can break out of that rut that some of these superstars find themselves in is to leave and then eventually come back. Do I think Sasha's going to do it? I don't know, but I don't think, like we said in the other video, I don't think that whatever disagreement they had, that it was worth all this.
Nah, absolutely not. And the thing is, you know, as of right now, you know, maybe when the recording, you know, everything comes out, things will be confirmed, whether she's released or not, but it is looking like she's released. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, then WWE, like, even though Vince McMahon, I feel like Vince McMahon and Sasha, well, I've always felt like Vince McMahon didn't really like Sasha Banks as a person. That's how I always got. But he knew that the woman, if you really needed her in a big time situation, he'll use her. Hence, you know, I know that they like to use the first two black women in the WrestleMania main event thing. But there's a reason why he put Sasha Banks in that match with Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He knew that Sasha Banks was going to bring... potentially bring Bianca Belair to the best match of her career. You know what I'm saying? So...
And, you know, the thing I feel about Vince and Sasha, and the thing that I don't like, is that Vince has no problem using her face in the intros. He has no problem using her to sell the merch. He has no problem using her for the documentaries. He has no problem putting her on things because he knows that she is money. You know, he has no problem using her name, using her likeness to get, you know, paid. Like, not to the same extent, but like almost like how CM Punk was complaining about. Like, I am super over. It's just the fact that I have more support from the fans than I have from the friggin' locker room.
Yeah, it's just like, if you're not a blonde with big boobs, big butt, if you're not a Barbie doll, you know, typically you're not going to be getting pushed. Now, some people did slip through Bianca Belair, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when it came to Sasha, it was just like, this woman, like I said in the beginning, like, she's one of the best women's wrestlers on the planet. You know, she can have a 5-star match with almost anybody. And it's just like, you know, Vince or whoever in charge right now might be okay with it right now, but there's gonna come a point where it's like, you really gonna want somebody to get over, or if you want a certain title to get over, if you want a certain angle to get over, who are you gonna go for? Who are you gonna know? Lacey. Like, there's some people, Lacey, but there's people out there that you might can be like, okay, you might can get Becky in there to have a decent match. You might can get Charlotte in there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Bayley's looking like, but you might get, but you know, Sasha Banks.
Right.
It's that you can think with these a lot of people. You know, you would probably put so many people above other people, but there are rare people that you just know.
And I think also, going off that point, you know, it's not also just about the star power, but it's just also the safe, you know, having safe workers. Now, I know Sasha has like this, you know, dark
reputation
on her past from, you know, Paige. But from what I've seen, I feel like Sasha tries her best to be a safe worker. And from what we've seen, especially in the women, there's some women who are typically very safe, and there's some women who have been very, very reckless. So to let Sasha go, I think, is like a really bad mistake. You know, I don't think it's permanent. I would hope it's not permanent, but I feel like that's a really bad and really kind of misguided decision on Vince's part. Like, I feel like, you know, whether you like somebody or not, if they're money, then the smart thing to do is to keep them on. And I don't know what happened between them two, but I feel like pride and egos got hurt.
Definitely pride and ego.
And Vince just kind of made a not smart decision, but I mean, it's not like he's making.
I mean, he's not the only smart
he's
decision.
not making a lot of smart decisions right now.
Vinnie Mac definitely been making some headlines for the last 24 to 48 hours.
You know what's crazy is that somebody said, like, I wonder if it was a coincidence, like, that Sasha getting released right when all this scandal stuff is coming out with Vince. I don't know. You know, people online are going to, like, run with their theories, but they were like, oh, did Sasha know about it? Was Sasha one of the women that made a claim against Vince or whatever? That's another thing I'm not too sure about.
I don't think she's one of the women, but I you know,
she probably knows.
Yeah, a lot of people probably knew.
All the women know.
You know, a lot of people knew. Even Pat McAfee probably knew when Vince McMahon slipped up on the podcast. Right. You know, when he said my wife at the time, and it was just like he's tried to cover up himself, and it's just like, wait a minute, hold up, you ain't with Linda no more.
And it's like, I think more than just him breaking up, it's the fact that, or him and his wife breaking up, it's the fact that this is a pattern, or a supposed pattern, because we know that Vince is not a stranger to objectifying women. We know that Vince has done some really messed up things with women in the past, and we know that he's made out with them and
made out with Trish Stratus right in front of his lovely wife Linda.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a whole bunch of like really screwed up stuff, and I mean, people have different opinions about that time. Some people want to go back to that time. Some people say, hey, we can kind of go back but not do everything that they was doing back then. But I think the long story short is that I don't feel like Vince's views on, you know, the women around him ever changed. And I just feel like,
babe, how many times I gotta tell you, women's wrestling is not a draw. Okay, doesn't draw whatsoever.
But I like, from what we know about Vince, I just feel
I'm just joking, relax.
I just feel like what he did is nothing new. We know a lot of powerful people who kind of do what it is that they do and get away with it because they have the money, they got the bread. But what's more disappointing to me is, like, I understand if the talent knew about it and couldn't say anything, but I can't fathom the idea of Stephanie or his kids or his wife knowing about this stuff and just like,
well, that's where that hush money came in. That $3 million of hush money.
Yeah, but there's only so much you can. I mean, you telling me that we don't know how long this has been going on for, but you telling me that you've been a part of this company for how many years and you didn't know your daddy was up to something, or even if you didn't know your daddy was up to something, you've seen the way he treats the women.
I mean, I feel like they definitely knew what was up. I feel like there's a lot of beef going on in the McMahon family,
right?
And you know, it's just a lot to like see right now. It's just you watching this empire just crumble.
It's like
little by little.
It's like, I gotta ask you a question with not just the Sasha thing, not just the Vince thing, not just, you know, the Randy, the Cody, the Roman, with all this stuff, has it ever been this bad before? And I'm asking you as somebody who knows like wrestling history and being a casual fan. Could you say it's ever been like this bad?
The last messy thing that I probably could have known about with Vince McMahon probably was the steroid scandal. The steroid
but
trial.
I mean, like
but like other than like internal, like no,
I just mean like the state of the company in general. Like,
no, like this company is literally like, I mean, WWE is gonna be something that's always gonna live. That's what I feel like. You know, I feel like a TNA of Impact. As many times as we thought that company was going to be gone, that company stayed alive. I don't know how it's still breathing, even though it's been on life support for like 10 years. But, you know, WWE, I feel like is always going to be an empire that's always there, that's going to be there. Now, what's going on behind the scenes, I've never heard of anything like messy like this, you know? Like, it's been, it's just a lot, man. With Nick Khan coming in, it just seems like slowly but surely, you know, Triple H having a heart attack.
Yeah.
NXT get taken away. Shane get fired. Stephanie a few weeks ago actually was she took a leave of absence.
Yeah. Wait, so the Shane getting fired thing, that was like legit?
That was legit.
I thought he came back.
Because they felt like after you remember the whole Royal Rumble thing, they felt like he overbooked. He made himself look too strong, and they made him and Bad Bunny look too strong. Even though Bad Bunny was in there, you know, squaring up with Brock Lesnar, it was like, you know what I'm saying, like, but it's just weird to see this empire that we just felt like, me growing up as an old school wrestling fan, we looked at the McMahon family as this powerful force.
Yeah.
And you just see the cracks now. You know, you just see the
Yeah.
cracks going on now. And it literally started from the bottom. Triple H, Shane, Stephanie, even though Stephanie is the new interim CEO and the chairwoman
Yeah.
after Vince stepped down. But you literally went from the bottom all the way to the top. And now Vince has to step down and Stephanie had to come back.
And it's funny because that little step down, whatever that was on SmackDown.
No,
whatever that, I don't know.
You know what?
That was.
I thought about it because even though I saw like when Vince, you know, everybody want to make it seem like, oh, Vince sucker Drew. First of all, let's keep it all a stack. Everybody was waiting for an announcement.
Yeah.
Everybody was waiting for an announcement. There was something at least in the back of your head saying that Vince was going to do something. Now Vince basically came out and been like, he said the then, now, forever and together thing. What the tagline?
Right.
What Vince, and I had to think about it. What Vince basically said is like, I'm gonna be here then, now, and forever. But there was a moment where before they cut to commercial or they faded to black or whatever, and we went to the opening signature, I saw a look on Vince McMahon's face.
Yeah.
He had a look of, it was like a look of, I don't want to say fear, but it was like a concern.
This could be over.
This could be it.
Yeah.
I like right before and I was like, yo, I saw a look on Vince's face.
I mean, I didn't think it was like, I don't think it's over. I think that they're doing the damage control that companies normally do when stuff like this comes out. Because based on what I've heard, and like I said, we don't really know yet, was the whole $3 million was hush money, but that Vince and the woman, it was consensual. Meaning, like, you know, they both agreed to the affair or what have you. Like, it wasn't like him forcing himself on it. So I feel like what he did, him and his publicity team got together and we're just like, yeah, Vince, just step down for like a month or two. We'll clean this all up, come back quietly, you know, and he'll be right back where he started. Like, I don't feel like this is it for him. Maybe he feels like it's it for him.
There was a bit of concern. That's how I felt. Now, I might be wrong, but if y'all want to look at Vince walking back up that ramp, to me, it looked like he had a look like he was holding back emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looked like he was holding back emotions. So,
and you know what? I feel like it's more than just the scandals. It's more than just the releases. It's more than just all that. I think what you really got to focus on is like, what must the morale in the locker room be feeling like right now?
I mean, a lot of people that's been released always said that the company walking backstage, it was like walking on eggshells. So I can't imagine like what it is now, like with all this tension with Vince and Stephanie, and even with Stephanie not liking, you know, certain employees, she's not getting along with certain employees and stuff. Like, it's a lot of tension backstage. I'm quite sure when John Cena comes back on the 27th, he gonna be like, yo, what's going on, bro? I'm about to go back to Hollywood.
Right.
Dwayne, where you at, bro?
Right.
But it's just a weird time. Like, I don't. It's just a weird.
You know,
weird
somebody
time.
was like, "Oh, they wonder if that $3 million was the reason for all these releases." You know,
Imagine they fired all these people. Be like, I'm gonna fire like 80 to 90 people, and you get to have this salary. Take it. Shut up. Shut up. Or you're fired.
But yeah, I just feel like it's something that you gotta watch closely. I don't feel like this is the end of it, but this is
definitely a weird era.
This is the shakeup.
There's definitely an era. You know, the crazy thing is, like, I'm just glad, to be honest, like, I'm just glad, like, I have somebody to watch this through, because, like, I've been through some errors and stuff by myself, but this one is good. Like, I have somebody to, like, really just sit and just watch this stuff with, you know. I
just feel like everybody who's invested, and even the full-timers at this point, just feel like everybody just seems like they're just there.
So.
Going through the motions.
So, yeah, so we shall see. Let us know what you think. Of course, like I said, make sure the comments are positive, of course. Be respectful, and we're going to check y'all on the next one.